Hey there, welcome to the Lumiere channel. I'm here. Let me just get the the show going. The volume is gonna change in a bit. I am going to pull some just guidance, um, a message from the spirit team. Um, I'm gonna use this new deck, which is really risky. I literally haven't even done my own reading from it, so we out here. Um, it's going to tell us sort of where we are or what the situation or circumstances sort of are at, just to give us more insight into where we are, our present. And then from there, we'll get some guidance for, next steps, what to do, or what the message is about that. I mean, technically, this would be the message from it as well. Like, this is where you are, and there's power in that. So, what is the spirit message for? Oh my god, no. That's so funny. And I'm not gonna read all these. And also this one, interesting. You are unique. Doesn't want to go back in. This is not what I wanted. I just wanted one card. Experience chaos. Ugh. God. Awareness. Okay. The cosmic joke. Fucking freaking hilarious. You are unique. I mean, this honestly tells me the story of where whomever might be watching this, or where some of us might be at right now in life, truly, where we are sort of. This deck is very get in there type deck. Like, it's a very get in there, get in the rumble, get in the rough and tumble around. It's very, I don't know, it's kind of brash. Like, it's kind of, it promotes more so chaos, but by promotes, it's like, don't make an enemy of the chaos. Like, the chaos is the chaos, and the chaos is the thing, and the thing is the chaos, and like, that's the answer, and also that's the solution, and that's that's not a problem. So for it to say experience chaos and the cosmic joke and awareness in this sort of reversed position and you are unique, it tells me an interesting story, which the cosmic joke really sort of like, yeah, you know, that whole thing where sometimes we do go through the things that we go through. We're thrust into the storm. We're in tumultuous times in our life where it's chaotic. We feel lost. We feel confused. We feel uncertain. We feel like we don't know where it's up, what's down, what's sideways, what's forward, what's backwards, and all this stuff. Like, we just don't know. We just don't know. We just don't know. And it sucks. And it is sort of a cosmic joke because it's not funny, but at the same time, it's something where when you look back on it, you look at it and go, yeah, that shaped me. That made me who I am today. That made me stand in my truth. That made me be aware of what my truth was, what my boundaries were. It really shaped me into being who I wanted to be, or who I sort of may have needed to be to get what I wanted. And it's just that when we're in that moment, when we're in the fray, we aren't aware of that. And even if we are aware of that, we just want out. We don't want to be in the fray. We don't want to be in the chaos. We just want out. We don't want to be, freaking geese stuck in a bottle. Like, how do we get out of that? We don't want to be in that space because we can't see a way through the storm. I don't even know which one to read, to be honest with you. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I like that this is here because while this is two women, I'm sort of seeing a mirror image. Like someone looking into a mirror and them coming out of stuff, right? Them coming out of stuff and being wholly different. right? Like this woman has bling, and this woman is in this dark, and she's in red, passionate, strong, in herself, and she's been through some stuff. She knows some stuff, and this lady's going through some stuff, and it could be the same lady, but she's decked out. She's got totems of, her journey. Oh, I swear. Alright, I am going to read Experience Chaos first. It is necessary to experience the chaos inside ourselves if we want to be born a star. F. Nietzsche. So it says chaos has its own beauty. It has a spontaneous order that originates from liberty. It is not an order resulting from imposition, it changes at every moment. It is a constant flux, like a river flowing to reach the ocean. That encounter happens naturally, the result of the river flowing. Okay. The river knows nothing of this destination. It has no plan to reach the ocean. No map exists for the river, indicating where the ocean is. Neither does it have any discipline. At times it goes towards the south, at times towards the north, sometimes in one direction, at times in the other. Sounds kind of like when we're lost, huh? We don't know where up is, where down is, where forwards is, where sideways is. So that's pretty congruent. It moves in zigzags without knowing where it is going. It follows its course because the energy pushes it along, and one day the river will reach its destination. Move with the same freedom, and one day you will feel realized. Embrace in complete awareness whatever has reached you. So that's pretty congruent with what I'm saying. Except it's not always easy to give in to the way the river is flowing, to give in to the energies that are around us. It's hard, it's difficult. It really is. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna read Awareness next. Awareness has these like two people sort of climbing a tree, and this person seems like they're about to push this other person, and that dude is just watching. In the reverse, though, I feel like it more so speaks to how we may not be aware of the situation from a certain perspective because we're in it. We're in the situation, and so we can't see a way out. We don't see the beauty in the chaos. That sounds so nasty to say, because like I totally get how when you're experiencing life and life is happening, it's you really have to sort of be an otherworldly being to be able to look at the mess that you find yourself in, or that you feel you are in, to go, this is kind of beautiful in a way. Like it's just not the most sort of human reaction when we're in the thick of it. And even though cognitively you can go, yeah, something better's coming, this will all lead to somewhere else, this isn't everything, this isn't the rest of my life. We can think that, and we somehow know that deep down in our soul, but like it's deep down in our soul, honey. It's so deep, because we're in the fray. Like right now we're just trying to figure out what the fray is. And this is sort of saying, don't. Just go with the fray. And that sucks. Like, at least as someone who likes stability, human beings for the most part, they say we don't like change. And it's one thing you can say, I like change, but that's typically a change that you have anticipated, a change that you've planned for, a change that you know is coming, or a change that you are looking for. It's just sometimes when a change happens to us and there's everything around us is changing, it's not the most comfortable. It's a lot. Even if it's something as happy as like a matrimony or a move to a house that you've always wanted, or to a state you've always wanted, there's always some sort of like fray and confusion and lostness, right? Change isn't always... Change is change. Awareness means intensity, such as a reawakening of intensity that no thought will interfere any longer. Osho. At the question, "What is awareness?" a mystic took his disciples to a high plain above a river and made them build a tiny bridge against a few centimeters wide. Then he said, "If you walk along this," oh, maybe that's what's going on with those two in the picture. "If you walk along this, you will know what awareness is." Some tried, and when they reached the other bank, they fell at the master's feet and said, "The danger was so great that we could not let ourselves walk along half asleep. We might have fallen at any moment, so we had to remain alert." Awareness is such an awakening of intensity that no thought will interfere any longer. You are simply aware. Exercise your attention, therefore. Do not live like a sleepwalker. So, for me, how that adds to what I was saying earlier, which is beautiful. Awesome. New deck coming through, coming through, coming through. Spirit team is here. Hey, hey. So, it's, again, but it's difficult. And I feel like it's sort of twofold, where be aware and take comfort in knowing that I recently had to tell this to someone, and I recently had to tell this to myself, and have to remind myself and others that whatever we're going through isn't always for forever. It's not always going to be as hard. It's not always going to be as tricky. It's not always going to be as angsty. We're not always going to be as heartbroken. We're not always going to be in a perpetual state of healing. We're not always going to be in strife. And there is really a certain level of awareness where, yes, go with the current, go with the energy, but that doesn't mean get banged up, right? Like, that doesn't mean you forsake all of everything. When there's such a fine balance with that, where when you're going with the energy, you're going with the energy in full awareness and decision that you are going with the flow. And if you want to stop going with the flow, you can. But it's more so that as you are going with the flow, you're keeping your body soft. So in basketball, and I think in many sort of contact sports, they teach you how to take a hit. They teach you how to fall. And it's sort of like that, where you don't want to tense up. You want to be soft, I think. At least that's what I'm getting here for you. Like, you have to be malleable. You can go with the flow like a river, and like a river, be malleable enough to be moved to where you need to be moved, but at the same time, you can't be sort of like ice. Ice can't squeeze through certain spaces, only water can. So being in the chaos means allowing yourself to, it's so hard to say, allowing yourself to be moved through it, moving with that energy, but also being soft. It's softening yourself up so that the impacts don't hit as hard or don't hurt you as hard. So with awareness, you are moving passively, but you are moving in sort of an active passively. It's a chosen passivity, where you are aware of where you're going. You're not just sort of closing your eyes and saying, all right, take me away. You're choosing and going, okay, I am going to go with the energy and see where the energy takes me. I'm going to go with the flow and see where the flow takes me. I don't like this. I'm not happy. I'm not into this, but I don't know how long I'm going to be in this space. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to keep my wits about me, but at the same time, I'm not going to fight the flow. It's a balance, and I hope that I've explained it enough. If there's someone else who, if you are understanding what I'm saying, I would really like you to comment so that everybody can sort of hear it explained in a different way, so that it can click for whomever else finds this down the line. Because the more you sort of reiterate something and hear something, the more it sort of clicks into place where it needs to. I am going to read a 48 because I'm seeing all these numbers here. That's funny. The number that's missing is 49, but isn't this funny that 64 is also 49? I swear. I swear. That's really it's such a beautiful this is a beautiful channel. You guys, I love Lu's Lumiere channel. I love it. Um you are unique. If you compare yourself to others, you run the risk of letting pride and acrimony grow in you because there will always be people who are lower or higher than you. From Desiderata. Never make comparisons. Comparing is an illness, and yet it accompanies your whole life like a cancer that continues to eat away and destroy your soul. Oh my god, you guys. I had that annoying noise in the background. Fudge, I'm so sorry. You didn't tell me. Don't comment it, man. I forget. I try to. The speaker and the charger do not go well together. Remember, every individual is unique and no sort of comparison is possible. There is no one in the world you can be compared to. Every comparison is impossible. If you let yourself be infected by the illness of comparing, you will inevitably become very selfish and greedy. Whoa. Depending on the people you compare yourself with. If you do not make comparisons, you will be neither superior nor inferior, neither ugly nor beautiful, neither intelligent nor stupid. If you do not make comparisons, you are simply yourself, then life is a simple blessing. There are people in parts of the world, sometimes I really wonder, it's such a twofold message. Like, it's such a delicate message, this one, because literally when you know better, one of my really favorite saying is when you know better, you do better. It's just sometimes when you've known better, you want better. And so when you're in a position where you're not where you were, or where you believe you could be, or where you were in the future, so that's where you know you could be, right? Then where you are sucks. And sometimes when you look at it at face value, where you are may not really suck. It only sucks in comparison to where you've been and where you believe you belong, or where you feel you belong, or where you will eventually belong. So, and I've done a reading about this before. I think it was a pick a card that I recently did. Check out the channel, man. Check out readings. They will find you, and they're good. I say they're good because I've used them for my own life and world, and they're eerily. I swear this channel is crazy. I don't know, but in any case, where the comparisons that we make with where we've been and where we want to be can vilify where we're at. Where we're at can be sucky, right? Where we're at can actually be just like ghastly. But sometimes, especially in this case, let's stick to this case. There is something about acknowledging and even embracing and accepting to a point where you are right now. Because this is just for right now. Not judging it, not saying it's good or bad, but just sort of acknowledging it as where you are, accepting it as, hey, this is where I'm at right now. And that's, oh God, it's so tough. But, and looking at it for what it is and dealing with it for what it is and dealing with it with what's there. The future is coming. The future is going to be yours. This is so eerie. And the past is what it was. It really is like when, I don't know how to describe it, like when you've lived in a home and all of a sudden, when you slept in like your own bed and all of a sudden you have to share a bed in circumstances that you don't want to share a bed in. You don't want to share a bed in because you've had the experience of not having to share a bed, and therefore having to sort of forcibly share a bed seems terrible. However, at the end of the day, you still have a bed to sleep in. You still have a bed to sleep in, and you only sort of know about the experience of sleeping in a bed by on your own bed because you've had that experience. And so you're using that past experience, comparing it to the one that you have right now, and vilifying it. It's like people who have always been in certain kinds of relationships, they don't know any better. And so they sort of settle for that kind of relationship, but to them it's not settling, it's just what they know. It's such a weird thing, because really comparisons can be very helpful because they get us to a better state, but there seems to be something about that is hindering this circumstances that you might be in, or that you might be relating to at this particular point in time. And I feel like it's not saying don't wish for more. Like, please don't freaking put words in my mouth like that. Talking to nobody, she said. It's not saying don't wish for more. It's not saying that where you're at is where you'll always be. It's not accepting it by saying, okay, give up. No, that's, again, soft, malleable, and aware still, okay? Still looking at where you're going, not just sort of giving your life and being nihilistic. I'm feeling more of like a not vilifying where you're at, because essentially that's what a comparison would do. But I am also seeing that there is better ahead. Like, there is better ahead. It's just don't make the better ahead the good guy and where you're at the bad guy, because you don't know how long you're going to be in the bad guy situation. And if you label it and demonize it and vilify where you're at right now as the bad guy, nobody wants to hang out with the bad guy, and yet you are in a situation where you are hanging out with the bad guy. So there's a perspective shift that needs to happen here, a sort of awareness that needs to happen there, and sort of a soft focus on what's coming and what's been, and being able to sort of give grace to the situation that you're in right now. It's not easy. It's not easy. It is not easy. It is not easy. But that is what sort of is looking like right in this scenario. Experiencing the chaos and trying to find some sort of beauty, because you don't know how long it's going to be here for. You don't know how long it's going to be around for. You might as well sort of make a little bit of a ramshackle home, so that once you're at least taking care of, where you're at. 64 is a cosmic joke. 49. That's so crazy. I love how that happens. Numbers. And it's the last card in the book. Alright. The cosmic joke. When Rico asked him how to get a goose bred in a bottle out of it without killing the goose or breaking the bottle, Nansen replied, clapping his hands energetically and shouting, "Rico!" "Yes, master," said Rico, starting up. "Look," said Nansen, "the goose is out." What? What? How did the goose get out? Okay. Okay. This is the cosmic trick. The only true joke. You are enlightened. You are all Buddhas pretending not to be. The goose is out, but you will make every effort to put it back in the bottle, because otherwise you will not have any more problems. The human being only knows how to live if he has problems. He is not capable of living without them. The human being lives enveloped in anxiety. To live without problems and without anxiety needs courage. Only if you let infinite silence penetrate your being will you be able to let that goose out of the bottle. Otherwise, perhaps for an instant, you will put it back in again. That is the deepest thing I have read in freaking ever. Wow. Because it's so true, and I don't like that. Sometimes there'll be moments where you feel things are quiet, and you're just kind of like, nothing is happening in my life. And sometimes people will create drama, and not even like that. Like, you kind of look for problems to solve in our life. Man, that is the deepest thing I've ever had. My God. Whew. I feel like in a way this is sort of saying, if we are the goose in the bottle, the experience and chaos that we're experiencing, right now, is the goose sort of in the bottle. It's just that once the goose gets out of the bottle, it's not like chaos won't ever come back. It's not like comparison won't ever come back. It's not like once we get to the next level, we won't be looking and finding problems with where we're at. That's the crazy, shutting down. That is a mic drop. Wow. That is kind of, that is not even the joke, in that it's like the biggest challenge we have as like human beings, where we're unattached but also experiencing life. You know what I mean? Like, where you don't take things personally, which is hard in a land of bills and work and what have you, life and love and family and drama, and I want clothes and I want food and I gotta lose weight and I want to gain weight and I want to, like, there it seems like there will always be something, and I suppose in some ways that can be comforting and in other ways it can be really frustrating. I'm gonna go with the comforting part and hope that you can follow the bouncing ball with me here. It's comforting in that every time you've had a problem in the past, it has passed. You've overcome it. You've moved through it. And now you're in this situation. The situation will also move, you also move through it. You'll also move past it. It's just, if life is going to be sort of this ebb and flow of experiencing this and experiencing that, we need to find some level of coping skills. We need to lean on something, be it God, the universe, whatever, your faith, to be sort of something that we can always go to and lean on in whenever we are facing strife, so we can get strength from that when we don't seem to have that strength inherent in ourselves. Because it's not like my mom always says, there's no there when you get there. Now, there are obvious markers that you're no longer in a certain phase. It's just that there's always going to be another phase. And that's not to say, oh, what's the point then? Let's just call it a day on life. No, that is, I suppose, the beauty in in the chaos. That there's something to be had, something to be experienced, something for you in the experience. And whether it's seeing how resilient you are, or whether it's building up a certain part of you, or whether it's you being there for someone else, or it being sort of someone else's time and then your time. There's a myriad of reasons for how life can sort of be for us sometimes. And I really like this line here. You are all enlightened, right? You're all Buddhas pretending not to be. The goose is out, but you will make every effort to put it back in the bottle, because otherwise you will not have any more problems. The human being only knows how to live if he has problems. He is not capable of living without them. It's kind of wild. It's very wild. So I feel like with this situation here, there's enough arrows pointing to sort of embracing what's going on, not accepting it as forever necessarily, or not taking it. I really hope you understand what I'm saying. Someone's going to misunderstand what I'm saying and selectively hear the words that are coming out of my mouth and the idea and essence of what this message is. It's not saying, oh, give up and everything is what it needs to be. No, it's sort of this moment is the moment that it is, and allow it is and flow with it. Do your best to hold yourself, but at the same time allowing yourself to be soft enough to move through this energy, because you will move through it. You really will. Well, you really, really will. Let me see if I can get something of a final word. Who wants to go? I got these from a subscriber. I think it was a member of our website. Once upon a time, before I paused it. Yeah. This is so funny. This says, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, which is so hard. And it's Psalms. I think the book of Psalms was written by, girl, this is where my biblical knowledge does not come in, was written by, oh, girl, David? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. David? Was it David? And I think he was going through some tough times and some good times, and he was just like going through it. Like he goes through it. Why have you forsaken me? And then one moment he's like, hey, praise be. And then one moment he's like, wow, where you at, dog? And then he's like, oh, there you are, man. You never left me. Like he really goes through it. It's like so human. I've always wanted to read the entire book of Psalms. Like I feel like it would be just so like, yes, David, I get it. And I feel like this is a hard one, and this is something that people talk about a lot, even in strife. Find something to be thankful for, find something to be grateful for, find something to have joy in, find something that can light you up in a little way. Is it painting your nails? Is it, buying a nail polish and doing it yourself? Is it doing your hair? Is it getting a cut of some sort, a haircut, or whatever it is? I don't know what floats your boat. For me, I started doing different things to help add some joy in my life, because I didn't know how long this particular phase would last in my world, and I wasn't going to spend all of my days living miserably. And that helped me not deny where I was, but rather survive and do my best to thrive a little bit in the place of my life where this was happening. And even now, if this is the message that you're listening to, and this is something that's resonating for you, and you're still listening, what? Then this is something, your call to action is to find a way to not only just survive this phase, but to thrive in it somehow. To find a way to thrive in it. If it means listening to something that's uplifting, not something that negates where you're at, right? There's to me, I feel like there's a huge sort of misconception of where you can sort of, I mean, maybe you can, right? Maybe you can. I've just found it much more sort of forgiving and helpful to be in touch with your present. Not, you can do a perspective shift, but in terms of denying where you're at, to me that's dangerous. That builds a bunch of shadow stuff, and that does not manifest itself in the prettiest of ways. But at the same time, if you are in a place where you can play both in manifestation and thinking and dreaming of what you want, while at the same time walking through your current reality, then I think you found a beautiful sweet spot. Gosh, I hope that makes sense, hey? Yeah. But regardless, this is the day the Lord has made, and there has to be something in the day to rejoice and be glad in. Whether it's the fact that you have 5 fingers, whether it's the fact that you have access to listening to this, whether it's the fact that you have access to a certain community that understands this, this part of the journey, whether it's the part of yourself that knows deep down that this isn't it. This isn't how your story ends. This isn't going to be the thing that takes you down. What if it is? No, it's not. It really isn't. Even if it's being thankful for that still small voice, even if it's being thankful for that text message, that phone call, that hot water, or just water, period. Finding something to be grateful for, finding something to be happy about, in the midst of the storm can be helpful. What does this say on the back? When I think of love, I think of you. Aw, that's really sweet. It's like a love letter from like God or something. They are, actually. I like it. There are promises from God for women. I really liked it. So I hope this helped you in some way. I hope this served you in some way if this was for you. If you stayed till the end, hey, let me know that you did, because I was basically talking to myself this whole time, it feels like. But I hope that you are well. I really do. Keep your light on. I am sending you lots and lots of warmth, love and affection. I wish you everything. Keep your light on, and good luck.